If you've been Googling, is Gusto a PEO? The answer right now is no. Gusto is a payroll and HR software platform, not a PEO. But here's something interesting. Gusto is actively building a PEO product right now. They're hiring a head of PEO sales to build it from scratch. So in this video, I'm going to break down what Gusto is today, what a PEO actually is, how they're different, and what Gusto entering the PEO market means for businesses like yours. We are Peo-marketplace, a Florida-based licensed PEO brokerage working with businesses in all 50 states. We don't sell PEO, we help you find the right one. Let's get into it. So Gusto today is a payroll and HR software platform. You sign up, you run your own payroll, you manage your own benefits, you handle your own compliance. Gusto gives you the tools to do all of that. It's a good tool. Over 400,000 small businesses use it, and there's a good reason for that. But here's the key difference. With Gusto, your company is still the employer of record. That means your company is the one negotiating directly with insurance carriers, filing taxes, and managing compliance. Gusto gives you great tools to handle all of that more efficiently, but the responsibility and the negotiating position stays with you. Think of Gusto like buying a really nice set of kitchen tools, professional grade, but you're still the one cooking every meal from scratch. A PEO is a completely different model. PEO stands for Professional Employer Organization. When you join a PEO, you enter into what's called co-employment. The PEO becomes the employer of record for tax and benefits purposes. Now, before you panic, your employees are still your employees. You still hire them, you still fire them, you still manage them, you still direct their work every single day. Nothing changes operationally or structurally for the business. Your employees won't even notice the difference except maybe that their benefits got better. But behind the scenes, the PEO is now handling your payroll, your tax filings, your benefits enrollment, your workers' comp, your HR compliance, all of it. The PEO handles the entire back office. And here's the part that most people completely miss. This is the real reason PEOs exist. It's called leverage. The PEO pools your employees with tens of thousands of other employees. So when they negotiate rates, they're not negotiating as your 30-person company. They're negotiating as a group of 40,000 employees or more. That's the same buying power as a company's much larger than yours. And that's why PEO clients typically pay 20 to 30% less for similar health insurance plans. Same carriers, same networks, same doctors, just lower rates because of the group size. Think of a PEO like hiring a chef. You're not cooking anymore. Someone else is handling the whole kitchen, and they're getting wholesale prices on the ingredients. Let me put real numbers on this because this is where it gets interesting. Say you're a 30-person company. You're on Gusto today, or you're buying health insurance on the open market. At small group rates, most companies your size are paying somewhere between $10,000 and $16,000 per employee per year for a decent health plan. The exact number depends on your plan design and where you're located, but that's the general range. Now through a PEO, a comparable plan from the same carriers, Blue Cross, Aetna, United Healthcare, might cost 10 to 25% less per employee because you're pooled into the PEO's large group rate instead of buying as a standalone small company. For a 30-person company, that savings on health insurance alone can range from $30,000 to over $100,000 a year, depending on your current rates and what the PEO can offer. Some companies save more, some save less. It really depends on your specific situation. Now, a PEO isn't free. There's an administrative fee they charge for their services, usually somewhere between $80 and $130 per employee per month. For 30 employees, that's roughly $30,000 to $47,000 a year in admin fees. And that's before you factor in workers' comp savings, which can be another 20 to 35% lower through a PEO master policy, and the 15 to 20 hours a month you're currently spending on HR admin, and the compliance risk you're carrying every single day. Insurance savings is great, but the real value is the leverage and liability shift the PEO brings to the equation that is unique to the model. But here's the key. NAPEO, the PEO Industries National Association, studied this and found that the average PEO client saves $1,775 per employee per year. That's after the admin fee. Net savings, that's across benefits, workers' comp, HR time, all of it combined. Gusto and a PEO solve different problems. Gusto gives you great technology, A PEO gives you that plus group buying power and risk transfer. Neither one is better, they're built for different stages. If you have under 10 or 15 employees, Gusto is honestly one of the best platforms out there. The interface is clean, the onboarding is fast, their customer support is strong, and the pricing is transparent. For companies at that stage, Gusto handles exactly what you need and handles it well. But once you hit 15, 20, 30 employees, the math changes dramatically, especially if you start offering employee benefits. At that size, you're spending real money on health insurance and you have zero leverage with carriers. You're spending 10 to 15 hours a month on HR admin that somebody, probably you as the owner or your most expensive employee, is doing instead of revenue generating work. You might be crossing the 50 employee ACA threshold, where you're now required to offer affordable coverage or face $2,880 per employee per year in IRS penalties as of 2026. That's the tipping point. And by the way, a lot of people compare Gusto and JustWorks like they're the same thing. They're not. JustWorks is a PEO. It has co-employment. It pools your employees for group rates. Gusto does not, at least not at the time this video was recorded. That's a fundamental difference in how your benefits are priced. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Gusto is actively building a PEO product. They just posted a job listing for a head of PEO sales, and it's a ground up build. What does that mean? First, it validates the PEO model. A company with 400,000 customers looked at the market and said, our customers need more than software. They need co-employment. Second, if you're already on Gusto for payroll, having a PEO option from a platform you already know and trust could be a real advantage. The transition would probably be seamless. The only thing I'd recommend is doing what I recommend for any PEO decision: compare it against 2 or 3 alternatives before you commit. Not because Gusto's PEO won't be good, but because the right PEO depends on your specific industry, state, and employee mix. And you won't know who offers the best rates for your exact situation until you compare. Gusto's PEO might be the perfect fit, or a PEO that specializes in your industry might offer better rates. The only way to know is to compare. And that's exactly what we do. We compare over 100 PEO providers for free. No cost, no obligation. We're a licensed PEO brokerage and online marketplace featuring Paul, our AI tool for PEO discovery and comparison. I'll put a link in the description where you can book a 15-minute call. I'll also put a link to our free PEO cost calculator if you just want to see the numbers first. If you're on Gusto right now and curious whether a PEO could save you money, the answer is almost always yes once you're past 15 employees and offering benefits. The question is, which PEO is the right fit for you? If this was helpful, share it with a friend. We break down PEO pricing, strategy, and the stuff nobody tells you. See you in the next one.